Hey, backyard gardeners, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jay. It is early June. It's a nice afternoon. The sun's starting to go down, so it's not so hot, and we're gonna be planting some peppers. It's the perfect time to plant peppers right now, or it's early summer before it gets super hot out. It gives them time to establish. I'm gonna show you step by step how to plant these peppers directly into pots or right directly into the ground. So let's go ahead, let's get into it. Here's just a little close-up of some of the peppers that we're planting. Look at these beautiful flowers. These are calendrios. I never say it right. I think I'm saying it right. All right. Look at this nice purple flower. Nice red. These are actually zinnias. Look at this guy. This is beautiful. I love these colors. Anyway, let's see. This is another. Oh, this is a Cubanelle pepper. You could actually see nice Cubanelle pepper forming on there. These are so healthy. All these plants. They look really good. Here's one of my jalapeno plants. This thing is really super healthy looking, nice looking. Look how thick that little trunk is of the plant. A lot of these are in videos, like my past videos that I did earlier on, probably March, April. So basically I have some nursery pots here. They're all about, I would say, between 10 and 13 gallons each. And I use these for all different types of plants. Today we're going to be using this is a pepper plant here. This is actually a really nice bell pepper plant. See, this one that's also a bell pepper. I know it might be hard to see on the camera. You see, actually you can probably see this one. This one is it's a banana pepper here. It's really nice. So I'm going to use basically these little nursery pots. I'm gonna go ahead and put in some I'm gonna top it off with some soil, and I'm gonna use the Happy Frog soil, and also I'm gonna put some compost. So I have some compost kind of over here, and the red ones, it's kind of neat because they had red ones, and the red ones I actually put hot peppers, so I know they're hot, so that actually works out. That's a habanero. And then these other two here, I'm going to use those for jalapenos. But this is the compost I'm going to be using. But this is really, take a look at this nice rich, I mean, it's not completely broken down 100% down to a dirt granule, but this is going to be nice. It's going to hold some nice moisture and really give it some nice nutrients, what it needs. So let's go ahead, let's get into it. And look at that beautiful chamomile. This chamomile's really nice. It attracts a whole bunch of different types of pollinators. All these beautiful colors. Man. These buds about to go. Nice looking. All these irises. Goes purple, lavender. Look at that color. When that blooms, that's going to be beautiful. Oh my goodness. Look at this color. This is absolutely beautiful. Look. Oh my goodness. Look at these beautiful little blue bouquets. White. And this is more to come. This is the wildflowers. All right, here we go. So basically I have a couple of my plants laid out right now. And this is a coronata pepper. This is a really nice sweet pepper. It's kind of like a Carmen pepper. So I'm going to show you my process. I'm going to kind of dig this out a little bit. This is such a relaxing thing to do. I love doing this. I know I say that in every video, but it really is. You're out here, you see all kinds of nice birds landing in the background. You hear the birds flying around you. The blue jays, the cardinals. It's really neat. I don't know if you can hear it on the camera, but it's pretty cool. All right, so this is a coronado. So just gently pop this out. Come on. There we go. Man, look how nice this is. Look at how beautiful these roots are. They're not even... Usually when things are going wrong, the leaves will turn yellow. You'll see the roots just kind of like going in circles. That's called root bound. This one's not root bound. This one's like really, really nice looking. So I put the fertilizer in there. I'm using a Happy Frog. This is a tomato and vegetable 573. The reason why I picked 573, I use this for my tomato plants too, is I don't need it to focus so much on the plant, but I do need it, the phosphorus and potassium, to basically be focused on more for the development of future fruit. The plant has a lot of nitrogen in here already, so it's already starting to grow like very well. And then it's also going to pick up some nitrogen from the when I put the compost in too. So let's see. So basically what I did is I got the base of this in the ground here with the fertilizer. I'm going to go ahead and get some compost. I don't know if I feed this or not, but I have some compost in this bucket. I do have a couple little sticks here and there, and then I kind of work around. So I'm going to basically put some compost in here. So I put a little bit of compost in there. I'm going to also go get my soil. I'm going to show you that. All right, I'm back. So basically, once again, I use this topsoil, this Happy Frog. I don't know if you could see this in a... Try to give you a little preview here. It's a potting topsoil. And it basically says ready to use, and it gives it a jump start for your garden. This stuff is amazing. It literally is a secret weapon. So I did put some compost in there. I'm gonna go ahead and put some top dressing here. Some nice soil. This all nice and pretty, ready to go. I am going to clip off a couple of these small little leaves at the bottom. You want to make sure you're not cutting off anything, like a nice branch. I'll cut these over there. My chickens will come by and clean these up later. So what happens at night is there's slugs that come out. Yes, disgusting slugs, and they're everywhere. So there's no way to really stop them. Unless you have like a slug machine or something. So basically this has some nice organic matter in here. Has a nice topsoil, and then I fertilized it. So this one's like ready to go. This is going to be beautiful. And I'm going to finish and do the rest of these plants here. Right, let's move on to this guy here. All right, my shovel. I'm like having these big pots. It is very helpful. You know, I mean, you could use a 5-gallon bucket too. I just like having the between 10 and 13 gallon capacity, because I like to also put some flowers in here too. I like to put some marigolds or some violas, all different types of flowers. Just take these out nice and gentle. Once again, look at this beautiful root system it has. So, all right, it looks good.
There was some compost that in there. Top dressing soil. I'm sure you don't have to put compost, soil, and compost again. I just like to do that to kind of give it a assurance of some nice healthy. It's kind of like a slow release fertilizer in a sense, because it'll kind of keep giving you nutrients over time. I'm going to put a different kind of mulch on here later on when it gets a little hotter out, and it kind of keeps it from getting too dried out. Okay.
Hey guys, so this is my in-ground area here. This is the video I did with the tomatoes here. This is the string trellis with the determinate tomatoes. It looks like I'm gonna have to add another string to it. They're starting to get a lot bigger. They look very healthy. Just giving you a quick update on that, as well as the ones I put back here. So let me come over here. All right, so this is gonna be the area that we're putting the peppers. Let me jump back over here. So, all right, so this is gonna be the area I'm gonna put the peppers. I'm gonna actually put 2 rows of peppers. I have them all laid out here. These are just really super healthy pepper plants that, you know, like I said, I grew indoors. So this is a yellow bell pepper. I also have some poblanos right here. These actually get very big. The actual plants blow up and get huge. So that's why I'd rather have these in the ground as well as the bell peppers. They get pretty good size, and the root system gets really big. I do also have a cubanelle. I put that in the ground because I want that just to pump out a lot of cubanelles, because I love using those in Greek salads, and as well as like the poblanos. We use those in different salsas and stuff like that, and we make tons of that in this house between the fresh tomatoes and everything. But yeah, I have regular green bell peppers, yellow, and I also have orange. So the kids like the colorful one. So, but anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my hands dirty and show you guys how to put them into the ground. We're gonna dig a hole, put a little fertilizer in there, and like I said, they're on drip lines here, and each one of them, where the plant I place these right now, each one of them land on where there's a drip emitter. So each one of them will get the proper amount of water. So let's go ahead and let's dive into it. All right, so I got my shovel, nice simple stuff to use. And I'm also using the same fertilizer I used in the pots, the 573. All right, so what I'm going to do with the first one, I am going to, this is an orange bell pepper. I'm going to actually pop this one right here. And if you have your own little area in your backyard, you're like, oh man, I don't really have a garden. You want to kind of convert it over into a garden. What I suggest was, what I first did was I took an area, obviously I had to cut the grass back, you know, get down by the roots. And once I did that, and just pull this plant out, it's beautiful. Come on. I know you want to get into the ground. There we go. Wow. Look at that. No bound, no root bound or anything. These are beautiful. I'll put this little tag right there. So, oh, I forgot to put the fertilizer in there. So what I was saying was I got to dig the hole a little bigger because it's a pretty big root ball here. I had to take and cut the grass out. What you got to do is kind of cut it out almost like if it was sod. Put a little fertilizer in there and get down to the dirt, and then just kind of start turning the soil over. And what I mean by that, I mean kind of like you till it, you know, kind of use it. You could rent a tiller, borrow one if you know somebody has one. It's a lot easier to till it, and it's kind of like you're taking all the soil and you're just kind of pulling all the roots out with a tiller and just getting it basically ready for, what was that? Ew, spider. It's the only thing you do, you know, anywhere you're outside, you get spiders. So Anyway, you want to just go ahead and just, till the area and get the soil turned over. Maybe add some nice layers of some topsoil, some fresh topsoil. See what kind of dirt you have. Like here I have nice topsoil, nice brown. I dig down a little deeper, it kind of goes into like a more of a sandy topsoil. Let me see, which I'll show you. And get down a little deeper. See, it's kind of like more of an orangey sand, which is good. It still really grows well. Just needs a little nutrients. That's where you put in the fertilizer. And then also when you use like a rototiller to kind of dig the ground down, it loosens up the soil a lot. And that's what you really want. Nice loose soil. You want it to be nice and fluffy and loose as much as possible, because you don't want it where it's so compact that when you put this down in the ground, if it's too compact in the ground, it's almost like me burying it with the planter in it, because the roots can't expand. They can't have their journey through the soil because it's so hard. So this one's not marked, but I'm pretty sure this is another bell pepper. It's going to be a surprise. We had tons of rain, so we had crazy amount of juggling around. Wow, another nice one. Juggling around a lot of the plants, which kind of made it really hard, and I lost kind of track of some of the plants. So I figured I could get away with not having to tag every plant, but I would suggest tagging every plant with a little name tag. Even like I showed you in a video way early on, just use a tiny little popsicle stick you could get at like Walmart. I got those at Walmart for a couple bucks, and it lasted. I think the one video I did back in March, I think it was, this is the same popsicle. I said that it gets a little rotted. See how it gets rotted, but I can still read it. There is a special pen that you could actually buy that the ink won't fade either. It's made for like just survive the sun and everything, ultraviolet. This one's definitely a Cubanelle. I could tell because it has a little baby Cubanelle on there. So I'm gonna dig this hole, and then after I'm done putting these all down, I am going to put some compost across the top, because I am fertilizing the hole, so it is getting a lot of nutrients. See down here, it's got a little bit of this yellow soil, which is fine, because the mix between the topsoil, this nice rich brown topsoil mixed in with that native dirt, the roots will grow in here just fine. Believe me, I always have good success with this area here. Oh, so the other thing too is when you are rototilling your ground, you can rake out a lot of pebbles and stones, like big ones though. You don't have to worry about the little ones, because they kind of get in the way. So you just fertilize this. Let's put this beautiful Cubanelle in there. Oh, this one came out pretty easy. Look at that one. That one's beautiful. I'll show you the bottom, because when it's really root bound, the bottom is just like, it looks like a white nest. It just looks like a spider web. This is beautiful. Sometimes when they are root bound, this one I have to take a couple leaves off the bottom here. Sometimes when they are root bound though, you have to slightly loosen the roots. You don't want to like rip them apart so they're getting super damaged, but you could loosen the roots a little bit. So like I said, I'm going to come, after I get all these buried, I'm going to come through here and then put some of that fresh compost that we made. All right. All this right here, this is all right. So we're moving on to row number 2. I just did row number 1. Honestly, it took 10 minutes. It's more about planning things out, having an idea what you want to do. Oh, what's up, little chickens? They want to get in here so bad. So anyway, I'm going to plant these. These are really, man, these are bell peppers. And I wish you could really see it, but you can't really see on the camera. But the stems of these are so thick. It looks like super thick, like almost like when you buy asparagus, the really thick ones, they're just super thick, very, very healthy. So let me go ahead and put this one in here. And I need to kind of keep these away from these tomato plants. So I'm going to put it on the drip line on this side here. Just planting it out, because what happens is if I put it too close to tomatoes, the tomatoes kind of take over everything. They're like bullies. They take over everything. All right, man, this soil is really, really nice. Very nice and rich. All right, let me get a little bit of fertilizer in here. And get this first really nice green bell. Nice bell pepper. Ooh, man, this one's... I'll come over to the camera and show you. Look how really nice. Look how thick this stem is, and even the root system on this thing is really, really nice. Oh, the girls are back. Look what I found you. I found you. Here you go. Make the chicken happy. Uh-oh. Found a nice big fat juicy worm. All right, let's get this back in the ground. All right, that's that one. All right, let's get this one in here. I got a feel for the emitters right here. I kind of lost track when I was doing that. The chickens, you know, my little buddies. Go make me some fertilizer, okay? Oh, here's another one. They're like those gross, chunky, fat grubs that are coming out of the ground. And they're like one of the chickens. It's when you're that and earthworms are the two favorites of them. They're all gathering around now. All right. Let's put some chicken poop in there. You get this other beautiful green bell pepper. Man, this thing is beautiful. Same thing, beautiful. I'm gonna come show you, just so you know. This is when you grow it yourself. Just look at that. I guarantee if you buy in the store, it doesn't look like nice, like ready to go into the ground. It probably looks like a spider web. And if you do end up buying them in the store, don't buy the big plants. Buy the little small plants. Because the big plants are just kind of, they get stressed out. And the reason why they get stressed out because they're in a small pot for too long. And they're in perfect conditions, and then you put them outside and they end up dying. So get the smallest plant you can find. It will catch up to the other ones, believe me. Because when I started off, I used to buy my own plants, or you know, instead of growing them all. And you know, if you watch a lot of channels, they'll tell you the same exact thing. You know, get the smaller plants because they will catch up to the bigger plants. And then when winter comes around, which nobody wants to talk about that right now, we're enjoying this 70-degree weather. You go to some of the stores and buy things on discount. Like I said, I bought this shovel for $3 because it was February, and they were like trying to get rid of them. You know, get all the new stuff in. Nobody was thinking about gardening except the gardeners. Another beautiful one. All right, and I just lightly just compress the soil. You know, you don't want to jam it so hard back into the ground and compact the soil again. Okay, that's a bell pepper. Move on to this next one. And this one is a yellow bell. All right, and this one's going right here. So let me move the camera over a little bit. Hey, get out of my peppers. Come on, out of there. Oops. All right, so this is the yellow bell. Get this baby in here. So this only took like, obviously when we put these videos out, we kind of fast forward some of the parts and stuff. But this honestly only takes me another 10 minutes to put this side in. So I would say the long parts would be planning things out through trial and error, and then also the water system. You know, make sure you have, I mean, if you didn't have irrigation, then you'd have to do it by hand, but you just got to stay on top of it. That's all. See, this one's even really, really nice. And I remember this one, particularly, this one was a second, this one's a little smaller because this one was like a second sprout that was inside one of my cells when I was growing them. And I didn't want to just cut it down, so I pulled it out and put it into another one, which stunted it a little bit and put it a little behind, but look how, look how nice it is. So I got 2 for 1. Because usually when you put pepper plants in, when you're growing them indoors, a lot of times you'll put 2 or 3 seeds in there just so if one fails, the other one you have a backup, and then you just take the healthiest one out of the 2. But fortunately, they both look so nice that I didn't want to do that. All right, we're at the last 2. We're at the poblano peppers. You should see my chickens. They want to get in here so bad. I had to put a chicken fence up around this garden. They want to get in here so bad. Especially if they see me digging. They want to know what I'm digging. Well, not why am I digging. And they're very curious creatures. But man, having fresh eggs is a whole nother thing. Fresh, clean eggs. All right, so let's get this baby in the ground. Oh, fertilizer. Put a little bit of soil back so it's not directly on the roots. All right. And this one here is, this one actually looks really good too. Any longer than it would probably start getting root bound, but it actually looks really good. These poblanos though, they grow like, they're heavy, big, heavy plants. So they grow very quickly and very, just big. I guess they produce really well too. All right, let's get this last one in. You guys see me? All right. Ooh, nice big juicy worm. Anybody over here? Nobody's over here, so. All right, let me get this one going there. It's a good sign when you see worms in the garden. All right. Okay, got a little bit of happy frog. Another beauty. Look at that. Okay. This is the last one. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to get some of that mulch and the compost and put that down. Hey, we're nearly done with this in-ground plot here. I just loaded up some compost I just got from the compost heap. I'm going to go ahead and top dress this whole area, spread this out nice. I'm going to water it in, and it's pretty much ready to go for the season. So it's been fertilized. The drip irrigation system, it does work. I just have to connect it. So far I've been just doing it by hand, but I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna top dress this with some of this nice compost. This stuff is really, really nice, and this stuff's gonna just basically, you know, it's gonna take a couple days for it to settle in and get the roots get used to the ground. Then after that, it's just gonna start adapting right to the environment, and then after a week or so, these things are gonna start shooting up big into big plants. You know, 2 weeks from now, the plants are gonna be like a lot bigger. So I'll keep you updated. So let me go ahead and just spread this out, and we'll move on. All right, so this area is looking great. It's literally ready for the summertime. So down the road, I will add some chips or something, some mulch on the top, just to kind of give it a little bit of protection against a whole bunch of weeds growing, especially with this mulch. I mean, excuse me, this compost. The weeds really try to grow through it, you know, because it's so rich, you know, with nutrients. So, all right, so I think this part is all done. All right, this is the end of the video, and hopefully you made it this far. I really, really enjoy making these videos for you guys to give you some nice informative ways of doing things. And these are just an overview of all the work that we have done. That's a nice cubanelle. The other one was a poblano pepper. And if you see, I set up all the drip lines, I tested them, everything works excellent. And basically, if you are planting in the ground or you're gonna be planting in the pots, give your peppers some nice watering schedule. Make sure it's steady. Keep it in a nice sunny spot, and you'll have an awesome, awesome harvest. If you're finding these videos to be helpful, please like and subscribe. It's very important for my channel, and I would love to give you an update on this. So hit the bell too, so you get some notifications. And I will see you next time in the next video. Have a good day.